Welcome to Did You Know number 17. Lana's got some fun facts for you, and then I got a couple, and then we'll answer the question from last time and also ask a new question.
Alright, Numbers 31:8.
Numbers 31:8. And they slew the kings of Midian beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi and Rechem and Zur and Hur and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also the son of Beor they slew with the sword.
I wrote, Reba is in the Bible. Reba McEntire is in the Bible. You know, I wonder if that's where her mama got her name. For all those country folks out there, you love Reba McEntire, you can post and let us know, is that really where her mama got her name? But Reba's in the Bible.
Reba is a biblical name.
Reba is a biblical name. Alright, the next one is Numbers 31:32.
31:32. And the booty, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep.
Now, so for some people who are younger and don't realize that pirates was not the first to come up with the word that their spoil or their treasures was called booty. So, booty is pirates stole it from the Bible. Means treasures or whatever's a treasure to you.
Booty is in the Bible.
Booty is in the Bible, and it's not the booty you're thinking. It's
treasure.
Treasure. All right, Numbers 33:3.
33:3. And they departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians.
I wrote on this one, Ramses. You know, there are people out there that say that Israel was never in Egypt and blah, blah, blah.
Those are idiots.
Idiots. And I wrote on here, I said, Ramses, this is proof Israel was in Egypt, because God doesn't just come up with a word, or even though people say just a bunch of men wrote the Bible, you don't just throw the word Ramses in there, you know. That's something that you had to be there back then to know that there was Ramses, a pharaoh, Ramses, you know. And so I just wrote, there should be some hieroglyphics that show Israel leaving Egypt in one of those pyramids. There's got to be. It probably was in there, but when you get all these archaeologists and stuff, I'm sure once they went into some of them, they probably noticed that, that's interesting. Why is a flock of these people going away? You know, or why is this chariot with Pharaoh's men being covered with water? You know, they probably scratched it out or broke it off the wall or something, but
destroy the evidence.
Yes, exactly. All right, the last one for me is, I'm gonna need to make a note here that I did that one. Is Numbers 35:12.
Numbers 35:12. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment.
I just made a note to myself, God started trial by jury. That's what I wrote to myself. I thought, you know, if you think about it, maybe, possibly, I don't know. You can post what you think about that one. I just wrote to myself, God started trial by jury on that one, that verse, Numbers 35:12. So, possibly.
All right, those were good. The two I've got, my first one is Judges 21. Probably didn't know this is in the Bible. Verse 1, Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, There shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin to wife. So Israel says, we're not going to give wives to the Benjamites. Well, the result is that the tribe will die off without wives to bear children. So, what is their solution? Now, they can't marry foreigners because God says you got to marry, the Jew's got to marry a Jew. You can't pollute the seed. And they've sworn not to give their daughters unto Benjamin to wife. So the solution they come up with is two things. First, they decide to kill some of their own people and then use the wives, or the women who are virgins among those people, and give them wives. And the reason they can do that is because the people that they fight, even though they're their own people, were never in Mizpah, and so they did not swear to give daughters unto Benjamin to wife. Verse 8, they said, What one is there of the tribes of Israel that came not up to Mizpah to the Lord? And behold, there came none to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the children. And this is the thing that ye shall do. Ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that hath line by man. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man by line with any male. And they brought them into the camp to Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. And then verse 14 says, Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives which they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead. And yet so they sufficed them not. So the first thing they do is they send 12,000 men to kill their own people, to take the virgins among those people and give them to the tribes of Benjamin so that they can have wives, so they can bear children. But that wasn't enough because he only got 400. So then the next thing they do is verse 19, Behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, and on the south of Lebanon. Therefore they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, Go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. Verse 23, the children of Benjamin did so, and took them wives according to their number of them that danced, whom they caught. And they went and returned unto their inheritance, and repaired the cities, and dwelt in them. Isn't that crazy? The way the tribe of Benjamin is saved from extinction, they go to Jabesh Gilead, and they don't just ask for the virgins to be married to Benjamin. They just go with 12,000 people and start killing off Jabesh Gilead, and then they take the women by force. And then the second thing they do is then they go up to the feast of the Lord in Shiloh, and they don't ask, they just take the virgins by force, and now they've got all the women that they need to have wives for Benjamin to keep the tribe alive. It's crazy. And that's why I think the last verse in Judges, verse 25, in those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. I mean, that's a pretty crazy scheme. The way we're going to save the Benjamin tribe is we're going to kill a bunch of our own people and then take virgins from them to give it to them. And then we're going to grab these other virgins that come up for the feast to the Lord and force them to be the wives of Benjamin. Crazy stuff. The second thing that you probably don't know is in Scripture. Ruth chapter 4, verses 6 through 9. Boaz buys Ruth with a shoe.
I knew that one.
Well, you know your Bible. Not everybody knew that. Ruth chapter 4, verse 6. The kinsman said to Boaz, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing, for to confirm all things. A man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, Buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, Ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Limelech's and all that was Chilion's, Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife. Boaz purchases Ruth to be his wife with a shoe. Bet you didn't know that. And also that helps explain what John the Baptist says in the book of Matthew. He says, There cometh one after me, the latchet of his shoe I am not worthy to unloose. Jesus Christ being the kinsman redeemer of believing Israel. And so it's saying that John says, well, you got to take off your shoe. That's the custom. He says, I am not even worthy to be involved in the kinsman redeemer process of Jesus. I am not even worthy to unlatch his shoe. So there's an understanding of that verse based upon something crazy that happened in Ruth 4. Okay, now getting on to our question. Question from last time, who ate honey from the mouth of a lion? The answer is in Judges 14, verses 8 and 9. Judges 14, 8. And after a time he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took thereof in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and he gave them, and they did eat. But he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young women to do. Samson is the answer to the question. He ate honey from the mouth of a lion, from a dead lion at that. I guess that's a lot safer than eating it out of the mouth of a live lion.
But the question is, did he get his parents in trouble? Because the honey was in a dead lion.
Yeah.
And Israel is never to touch anything dead. That means they're unclean. He didn't tell his parents. So does that mean he made his parents unclean? By not telling them he got it from a dead animal.
Well, certainly Samson was unclean, and he had the Nazirite vow on him, and he wasn't allowed to come in contact with that. So he uncleansed himself.
So that just popped in my head. I was like, wait a minute. He didn't tell them he got it from a dead lion, but everybody knows that God, has like strict rules that, you're not to touch a dead body. If you touch a dead body, you're supposed to go outside the camp. You're supposed to cleanse yourself so many days. If you, accidentally touch something, an animal that's dead, blah, 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 blah. So, good question.
Very interesting. Our question for next time. The answer is in the book of 1 Samuel. The question is, who died by falling backwards from his seat? Who died by falling backwards from his seat? And that's in 1 Samuel. All right, that was Did You Know number 17. Thanks for watching.